Babes, how we doing? Good morning. I didn't expect to make a video today, but I woke up, I saw the alert for the chapter, and I was like, my hands are kind of tied here. So it was a solid chapter. Honestly, not really, but we'll get into it. Sorry, I feel a little under the weather, a little bit of a scratchy throat, so I apologize if I sound a little sexier than usual. Getting into the chapter, I think, by the way, this is our last chapter of the year, which is obviously frustrating because I'm pretty sure we've only gotten 3 chapters in 2 months. I hope Oda's healed up. I hope everything's good there. I want more. Is that my fault? Is that my fault that I want more? Not a lot really happened. I was kind of annoyed, but I get it. A little bit more emotional with Robin. We have the library. We have the school for the kids. It seems that Elbaf is moving from their archaic ways of destroying and waging war to trading with other nations, which is very mature but boring, and they're raising a bunch of sissies. Which I think even Luffy and Zoro are like, yeah, this is kind of soft. I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were really gonna be about it here, and you guys just seem a little soft. Big thing that happened in the beginning of this chapter, because this wasn't really too big. Vegapunk literally didn't die. That moment where he got fucking sniped by Kizaru, kind of out the window. And at this point, I'm starting to get frustrated. I'm like, can we just kill people and have them stay dead? I know that Vegapunk was never really dead, and he's just in the body of his Stella right now, but he's legit just going to come back, and he's going to be just fine. So that was interesting. We're going to have Vegapunk. I think it's a fun character design, so I'm not complaining too much, but just enough. Not really much else to care about here. Ange and Ripley, I don't really give much of a crap about. They're just kind of saying, this is how we're developing as a country, and look at us, we're growing, we're becoming better. And everyone else is like, oh, that's kind of soft. We thought Elbaf was about the warriors, about all this. Even Usopp's like, what the hell are you guys doing around here? Like, what's going on? Yeah, just about the giganticism of the books, I guess, is cool. We get more emotional stuff with Robin because all the books that were on Ohara have been saved, gigantified, and brought into this library. Could you imagine reading a giant book? Like a giant book. It would be annoying and difficult. Like, because the words are bigger, the pages are going to have the same amount of words on them, but flipping you're working out. You're working out. If it's a giant book, you got to get like some momentum. It's like a tarp. It would be like a tarp. You'd have to like really like flip that shit. And like once you flip it over, you got to make sure it stays down. And God forbid it's windy. If it's windy, if you're reading one of these giant books in the wind, you're fucking cooked. You might get lost and crushed in this book. I'm just saying. You got to like flip that thing over, and you better have one hell of a paperweight because it's just not happening. Anyway, we get a dialogue here between Loki and someone. Is it the leader of Elbaf? Probably. I would assume so. Somebody who's definitely important. I think that's still kind of being hidden from us. I think we thought Harujan might be in charge just because he's the other brother, but that does not seem to be the case. And even though Harold's dead, there's probably somebody. Harujan might be in charge, but it might be one of those, like, somebody who helps the royalty behind the scenes is creeping up and trying to steal power. But this guy seems too good to be true, so I don't really know exactly what it's about. But I'm glad that we're not forgetting about Loki, because he is going to become important because of what happens on the final page of this chapter, which is what I want to spend the majority of time talking about. And that is a summoning once again. Beautiful paneling and beautiful artistry here by Oda. Shanks and some forbidden warrior that we don't know. Why do I say that they're a warrior? I think things are getting a little too chummy. And I think we know that because these summonings, I think the only thing we probably know for sure is these summonings are done by Imu. And Imu is summoning them because he needs Luffy taken out. He needs him taken out. Now, before I get into the whole Shanks thing, we have to talk about more about the summoning. So with this summoning, what I think is one of the biggest things is we originally thought only the Gorosei would be able to be summoned, just because they are connected to Imu and his power. Who's to say these people are also not? I think that's a little bit of a stretch. It's just weird to me. I had been theorizing for a while, and if you look at the last video, I brought up Shanks. I knew Shanks was going to be in this arc for sure. or Shanks' twin or whatever this is. But Saturn made an interesting point when he got summoned, and he said, I don't remember the last time I was on the surface. And I've talked with some people, and multiple people tell me that I'm wrong, and that's fine. Talking about how he just means that instead of being in heaven atop the red line of Mary Joie, he's now on the surface world with everybody else. And I said, okay, that's fair. But why would he be saying that then? Was he not traveling in a boat for like 2 weeks to get to Egghead? Was that not him? And we see that there's a very much a shift, a very powerful shift in character between Saturn when he's in his form and when he's not. And I think that it's kind of like this demonic thing. And I almost think that it's a kind of hellish tribute. I say that obviously because of the darkness, because of a couple other comments that maybe I'll talk about next week once I go back to Egghead, because I'm telling you, everything's there. Everything's there for you. But I think that they mean like the actual surface. I think that there is beings or like another type of dark kind of world that we don't even really know about yet, that Imu-sama is deriving not only his power, but giving power to others, and there's almost subjects now. And now that these people have been summoned, I think that only strengthens that argument. I think that these people are connected to some kind of dark world, and I think that this is going to be proven through not Shanks, but whoever he was summoned with. I think that person's going to be like, yeah, like there is a whole other side to this coin, and we're going to be seeing them very soon. Shanks being here. So I think even in the last video, I was talking about how Shanks was going to play a part in this, and he has to be coming sooner rather than later. But the more I look at this, the more I can't think that that's Shanks. I can't. I mean, he had to have been here recently. And on top of that, I don't know why he would be being summoned here with somebody who's not on his crew. We're assuming the real Shanks is with his crew sailing towards the One Piece or whatever, Raft Tail or whatever the last poneglyph is. But this guy's weird. This guy's really weird. That's clearly Shanks or Shanks' twin, which has been theorized. I'm just annoyed because I was hoping that that wouldn't have been true, and I don't know how they're going to play this off, but it can't be our Shanks. It can't. But it also can't not be. So it's like really confusing to me because I'm like, it can't be Shanks. But for Shanks to have had a twin like this whole time is weird. We know that he's had conversations in a relationship with the Gorosei, and we thought that that was normal Shanks, but many people did theorize that that was an evil twin. And like I said in the last one, I don't think that he's really evil. I think it's just a difference in their position and what they want, what freedom means to them and where they want the world to turn out at the end of all this. But this guy really throws a cog in that. I don't know what he's going to do, and I don't know what he's about, but I think he's there to assassinate Luffy, to kill Luffy. And I think the other person is too, whoever that is. I mean, we might have theories on who that is. I don't really. I mean, I could be grasping at straws here, saying some relation to Imu, saying this, that, the other. It's kind of, it's tough to say. I mean, they have a great relationship with technology. They have basically everything at their fingertips that would not be out of the realms, obviously, of cloning, of shifting powers, of giving powers, of anything. So I'm kind of at a loss here. I don't know what to say. I just know that they're here with bad intentions. There's not a chance that they're here with good intentions, or Imu wouldn't have sent them. And it has to just be to kill Luffy. But at the same time, I don't know Shanks' relationship with that, because these people look like they mean business, and I don't think they're going to give a shit about any of the giants or anybody in their quest to kill Luffy. The weird thing about this is I don't know how. There's just so many weird things with this one. Imu's not done. Imu has some tracking of some kind. They knew they were heading to Elbaf. Somebody's helping them out, and that Shanks looking guy is a bastard. So I don't know. I think that maybe Mr. Garland is going to play a role in here, just because we are theorizing. We're pretty sure that he's the father of Shanks. So I think that there's some connection here. Maybe he had two kids, evil Shanks and good Shanks. I hate that. I just don't like it, but I'm trying to it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense that this would be Shanks or this would be some other version of Shanks, but it has to be. But neither of those really make too much sense, so Oda has me stumped. All I know is that shit's about to go down, and it's about time. Because I was talking about how Oda loves to take his time, and it looks like he's like, nope, we got to get this shit going. So they might be celebrating, but it's going to be a short-lived destiny. And we'll see what the Giants are about, but they're about to be snuffed out quick. Because this is... Emu wouldn't have sent them if he didn't think that they could get the job done. So that's all I have. We won't have a chapter next week, I don't think, because of the holiday or the New Year. And I'll see you in a little bit. I got to mold this around the brain more. But you guys enjoy your holiday season, and I'll catch you.